If you are new to the world of AWS, this video is a must watch for you. So AWS provides a component known as CLI, where users are enabled to do almost everything that they can do in management console through command line. Okay, and that is where this command line understanding and running commands become very important. Please ensure you watch this video till end, guys. Lot of learning for you in this video. Okay. So what important things we are going to learn is about installation of AWS CLI. Then we will see how to configure that for an user. Then we will interact with S3 through command line, for example, copying and moving files, etc. Then we will see how we can create a user and provide password to that user and enable the user for first time login through management console. Then we will see some EC2 instance stuff that we can do using CLI. And then I will leave you with some references so that you are not only dependent on my codes, rather when you are stuck with something, you can search for your own codes or what works for you. Okay, let's see this very important video, guys. So installation, okay. First of all, you have to go to Google and say something like AWS CLI. Okay, at the moment you see this, you will find the first link, command line interface. Come here, on the right hand side you will see download and run 64-bit or download and run Mac OS or Linux, whatever is your OS. Based on that you can download and run. It's a pretty simple straightforward download. Okay, so you just have to run it and nothing else you have to do. So it will install that. Once that is installed, you go ahead and open your Windows command prompt like this. Okay, so your Windows command prompt will open like this, and then in the Windows command prompt you have to say AWS version. Okay, and if you say like this and you see an output like this, that means your AWS CLI is installed. That's a pretty simple installation. There will not be any problem, I believe. So AWS CLI is installed now. So AWS will command is identified in my machine. That is the first step. But the second step is to tell to the CLI that I am a valid user, right? Without that, how you will communicate with S3, etc. So for saying that you are a valid user, what you have to do is you have to let's not log in through the root user, because it's not good to log in through the root user or highest privileged user. We'll create a simple user here. So I'm inside my management console here. I'm logged in using the root, which is Manifold Data Science. Okay, and I will go here and I will say, for example, users. I want to create a user to log in from AWS CLI. So let me go here and I will say add user. To this user, I will say my CLI user. Okay, and then I will say access key. I will check it because I want to access through AWS CLI. Then I will say next permission, and it says add user to the group or copy permission from group or attach policy. So I will just go here and attach a S3 policy because I want to give the user permission to read and write into S3. So I will say S3 full access. Okay, this is a kind of high level access we should not give, but I will just give it for now. Add new key. So I will say my CLI user. Okay, this user is for CLI and has full S3 access. Fine. Then I will say review, and then I will say create user. So user is created. Now you come back here, guys, and you say AWS configure. So what I'm trying to do, I'm trying to configure a user. First thing it will ask you is AWS access key ID. Come here, copy this and paste it there. Okay. Then it will ask you secret key. Come here, copy this, already copied, but let's copy one more time and come here and paste it. Okay. Then it will ask you default region name. So my region name is US East 1 only. If you want to change, you can change it. Default output format, I am keeping JSON because I am convenient with that. If you want to keep any other format, I will show you the documentation where you can see what all formats are there. But let's go ahead with JSON now. So now my user is created, okay, which has full access to S3, read and write everything. Having said that, let's go ahead and run some basic commands. So CLS is clear screen in Windows system. Some of you guys who is not comfortable with terminal, and Linux commands or Windows commands, I am conducting a session, live session on this Sunday where I will I will walk you through all the important Linux commands. Okay. For now, let's go ahead and try to run some commands here. For example, AWS S3 and ls is the first command I'm trying to run. What this command will do is it will show you list of all the buckets. So these are the buckets that I have. So for example, if I go here and go to S3, then you will see those buckets only I have. Okay. So come here, you will see these are the name of my buckets. Okay. In these buckets, for example, if I come here and suppose I want to push one file from my local machine. So let's open any of the bucket. Let's open any of the bucket. For example, my test bucket 21 NOV. Let's open this bucket only. Okay. And suppose I want to push any file from my local machine. So let me go to first of all any directory where I know some of the files. Okay. So OneDrive, let's say desktop, let's say OneDrive, then let's say desktop. And in desktop, I have multiple folders. Let me see any simple folder because I don't want, a lot of time to be taken for this push and pull. Okay. So any simple folder I want to go. So let me go to a folder and call it, CD Insta. Okay. Insta is one of my folder. In Insta folder, I have multiple things here. Okay. So I have multiple images, etc., which I put on the Instagram. Now, what I want to do is I want to push, let's say, any of these file to my S3. So what I should ensure first is I have not pushed that before so that I can show you in this bucket I have pushed that before. So let me take some other bucket where those things are not there. For example, unfold ds first bucket. In this bucket you see that there are no those file which is already there. Okay. So let me go here and let's say 6.png. This file I want to push. Okay. So what I will do, let me clear screen first. Then I will say AWS S3 CP, what I want to push 6.png, and where I want to push S3 colon unfold ds bucket first. Okay. And let's run this. So if I want to run this, I will press enter. And then if I come here, I should see 6.png here. Okay. 6.png. So you see here 6.png is uploaded. Now guys, this is one way copy, which means from local you are pushing. You can do the other way also, which means from S3 you can pull it back. But I want to show you one important command known as sync sync. What sync does is it kind of ensures that whatever you have in a present directory, all those things in terms of files will get copied in the bucket as well. So for example, if I say AWS S3, okay, and I say dot, and then I say S3, sorry, sync AWS S3, then the command sync, then dot, and then where I want to sync in unfold ds bucket first. So unfold ds bucket first. Okay. So what I want to do is I want to sync my Insta folder to this particular directory, this particular bucket. Let me try doing this guys and see what happens. See, whatever files are there apart from folders. Okay. Apart from folders, whatever files are there, all the files would have been written in this bucket. So that is what I did previously with another bucket, which I did not choose, for example. So see here, you will see all the files that is in my Insta folder is being copied here. Okay, on the desktop. It's not only copied, it is in sync now, which means both the folders will be in sync. You are telling to AWS that, hey, tomorrow if I want to put a new file here, please make the bucket in the sync with that file. Okay, that's what you want to do. So we have seen some basic commands of S3. Now let's go ahead and try to see some commands related to EC2 instance also. Okay. So first of all, we have a command known as AWS EC2, okay, describe instances. Okay. So here what you are going to see is there is an error. Error occurred when calling a describe instances operation. You are not authorized for this permission. Now what I wanted to show you guys is it will be like this only, because if you remember, to that user I have not given a EC2 instance permission. Okay. That is how it is protected. So let's go ahead and let's go to the users. Okay. And try to add that policy. Very important concepts guys. Remember this, in project you will need day in and day out all these things. Go to this user. Okay. and then see what all permission this user has. So AWS S3 permission, it has full access. I will go here and I will say add an existing policy, and I will go here and say EC2. Okay, and somewhere you will see EC2 full access. Again, this is a high level access, we should not give, but I am giving for demo purpose. So now it has EC2 full access. Let's try and run the same command again, if it is able to show some instances. Okay, so now if you can see here guys, it is able to show me some instances. This is my one instance. Okay, and if I press enter, it will show me another instance. So this is my instance. Instance means if you come here and if you go to instances, EC2, okay, then how many instances I'm having guys here? I'm having two instances. Okay, two instances. This is one and this is other. So it is showing me all the details of these two instances. So this one dictionary is one instance, other is another instance. Okay, for example, image ID ending with 2A63. So one of these should end with that instance, either that one or this one. Instance ID 6D. So 6D is first one. Okay, so this is related to that. Okay, let's come out of this and say I want to start one instance. Now if you remember guys, if I click on this and if I say the start instance, it will start my instance. I don't want to do that here, I want to do from command line, so it is now stopped. Okay, come here. How I can start that instance is I will come here and say AWS EC2, okay, start hyphen instances. Okay, and I will say hyphen instance hyphen ID. I can make a mistake also. Let's see if I'll make a mistake and paste that thing. Okay, so it may give me some error. No, my command is right. So it is telling me it is starting the instance here. Okay, so that is the command for starting the instance. So this is the instance that is being started. Now if you come here and if you see and if I refresh this, right, first instance is what I tried to start. So you see here it is pending. Pending means something is happening. So after some time this pending will come to stop. I mean start. Okay. So if I go inside my instance, right, you can see instance state is already running. So this instance is running now. So let's go ahead. Why to unnecessarily, start an instance, right? Let's go ahead and we can stop this from there only. So you can just come here and say stop that instance. Stop that instance. Okay. So what will happen? Your instance which was running, it will try to stop itself and it will stop it. See, it is stopping now. Okay. Another important thing that I wanted to show here guys is something known as describe volumes. Okay, so AWS EC2 only, if you say describe underscore volumes, describe, not underscore, hyphen volumes. So what it will give you is list of all the volumes that your EC2 is attached with. For example, one instance ID is attached to this volume. What is the type? What is the volume ID? So these are some of the common things that you can do from EC2. Now, not limited to this, in EC2 only, there are many commands. Okay. One more thing I want to show you here. I am logged in through root user, right? I am logged in through root user. Where is my management console? This is my management console. Now, in a project, there will be many users, many people, right? Suppose I want to create one user and I want to give that user permission to just read only permission to my S3 buckets. Okay. So I'm inside the documentation and here I have found creating IAM users and groups. Okay. You can search with the same query and then you can come here. I don't want to create a group. I just want to create a user. Okay. So I will take this command. There is a copy option also. So I will take this command and let me try running in console. Okay. So come here and say AWS IAM create user, username, any name you want to give. For example, my new user, I will say. So this new user will get created now. Okay. But there is one problem. An error occurred when calling the create user operation because the user through which we are logged in does not have that access. Okay. So it is saying create user permission you have not given to this user through which you are logged in. So let's go and give that permission. Okay. Come here, go to users again. I want to go to my user through which I am logged in. Okay. go to users and add a policy that that user should be able to add a new user. So come here and say add permission. Okay, come here and search IAM, identity and access management, and here there will be something like, let's say I am full access only, just in the interest of time I will add this access. Okay, so this user can now add user, delete user, whatever it can do. So come here and now run the same command. So what will happen is, again error, IAM create user, did I not save it or something? IAM full access is there. Okay, create user action, my user has no identity based policy. Create user, username, my new user should run. What is the problem? Yeah, last time maybe it was not updated, so now it is updated, so it has run, a new user is created. So suppose you go here, then you should be able to see one more users. Go here and see this user we have created just now. But you remember in the beginning we are adding policies to this user by command line. So just now I added a policy to this user, not by command line, by GUI. But we can do the same thing using command line. Suppose I want to go here and I want to add a policy to this user. For example, add permission. Okay. And I want to add some permission. For example, let's say S3 read only permission. So S3, and in place of full access, I want to say read only. So what I will go is, I will just open this policy once. Okay. I will just open this policy once and I will take the policy number for this policy. So this is the policy number for this policy, or policy ARN. And what I will do is, to that user, I will give the read access to S3. Okay. To that user, I will give read access to S3. Now how to do that? I have to go here and I have to add that policy. So how I can do that? Let's go to the documentation is your friend. Add user to the group. I don't want to go. I don't want to do. I want to add a policy to this user. Okay. So this thing you can take AWS policy. What is the name of my user? Name of my user is, for example, okay, I have copied that thing. So it is copied. Let me go here and copy the command. Go here and copy the command, paste it and attach user policy. Which user? What is the name of my user? Come here, see the name of your user. I need to toggle between multiple screens. My new user, right? My new user. Take this user, my new user, my new user. And what is the policy ARN that you want to put? So that thing that we have copied, right? So go here and copy this again and come here and paste it. Okay. And say enter. So what has happened is, now this user has read access to S3 buckets. So let's verify that. Let's go to users one more time. Okay. And see if that has happened. My new user. Okay. In this my new user permission, you see read only bucket policy is added. Okay. And this we have added from command line. So what else you can do is, you can also give this user access to login. So how to do that? Let me show you that as well. Let me go to the documentation one more time, and this user should be able to log in as well, right? So how that user should be able to log in? So come here and say that setting an initial password for an IAM user. Okay. So this is the initial password for that user. Using this password, user will be able to log in. So come here and just say that your user should be able to log in using that password. So password reset required, I'm removing. I don't want user to, unnecessarily come and reset the password. So the password for the user, I'm simply setting as PASS at 123. Okay. And what is the name of my user? Name of my user is my new user. U is small for me. So like this, and pass 123 is my password. Let me try this. Okay. So this new user password is pass123 and name is my new user. Now let me go and try to log in. Let me open an incognito window and say AWS management console, login. It will take it with misspelling also. So come here and it will say sign in. In the sign in, it will ask you what is your IAM user I want to log in. It will ask account ID. Account ID is nothing but my ID through which I, or if I want to show you account ID, you can come here to the S3 and this is my account ID. Okay, if some of you is not aware, this is my account ID. Okay, copy this, come here, paste it here. Now I am logging in through a different user, remember. Paste here and say next. What is your username? Come here, my new user. And what is my password? My new user. And what is the password? Password is pass123, PASS at 123. Let's sign in and see what happens. I'm logged in, my new user at Unfold Data Science, that is my ID. And now I have given the read access in S3 to this user. So go to S3, user should be able to see the S3 buckets. So this way what can happen is user can come and view the S3 bucket. So as you can see, a lot of things we are able to do from CLI, right from interacting with S3 to interacting with EC2 to creating a user and giving permissions. So this is pretty important topic, guys. Please go ahead, see the documentation and do the hands-on practice. Okay, documentation is pretty important for this. You have to go through all the commands and at least run some basic commands to get a feel of how it is working. Okay, I'll see you all guys in the next video. Wherever you are, stay safe and take care.